Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13, episode 14. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, the ladies are still on the side of the road. So they're trying to calm Crystal down. Crystal is freaking out. Anna Marie couldn't wait to swing into action. Really, she ain't swing into action, child. She was just over there rubbing her back and whatnot. She gets in the confessional and says, due to Crystal repeatedly insulting and degrading my profession, the irony of what is happening is just shocking. Ma'am, how is this ironic? Huh? You lied and said you were a doctor when you're not. I wouldn't even want you to touch me, but that's just me. Because I feel like you're relishing in the fact that she's unwell. She did not, and I repeat, she did not degrade or insult your profession. Now is not the time, 8.5. It's just really not. So the ambulancia arrives to take Crystal to the hospital. Her blood pressure is extremely high. She's calling out to Anna Marie, I guess, because Anna Marie is in the medical field. So she's telling her what her blood pressure is. They leave to take her to the hospital. Now, me, I would be terrified to go to the hospital in Spain. I just would. I would be terrified. Now, granted, Anna Marie was there rubbing her back. Everybody was making sure that she was okay. It was a very scary scene. She did offer to go to the hospital with Crystal, but they said that a producer would go instead. So they take Crystal to the hospital. The other ladies go into the church to set an intention and to pray. Erica is cussing about how she's already done this shit. I've already done it. I have it at my house. I used to have it at my house. I already set an intention. The intentions were set a while ago. Erica act like she ain't got no sense. So everybody's like, can we not cuss, okay, at the church? She's like, I'm not cussing at the church. Girl, you're cussing around the church. Just get away from the church without like cussing for you blow us up into a puff of smoke. So they go in and she's telling us how she had a chapel in her old house. Erica, let that old life go, please. It's over. It's over. It's over. Now it is over. Just let it go. Dorit didn't want to pray. She said Jewish people don't pray in church. Okay, Dorit. The other ladies light a candle. Everybody's kneeling. They're praying. Sutton starts talking about her dad. Erica said, her intentions are to be at peace and to be prosperous. She's hurt that none of the ladies came up to her and apologized to her. For what? For what? Huh, Erica? For what? I can guarantee you that if the shoe were on the other foot, those apologies would not be flying out of your mouth either. I don't understand what you want them to say to you. Okay, they've moved on and so have you. What do you want from them? Give it a rest. And Garcelle, not you having on this little mini skirt inside this church. I said, look at Garcelle little long legs out. So after everybody left out the church, Sutton and Kyle, they stayed back and they had a moment. Now, for some reason, Sutton was apologizing to Kyle for being a bad friend. Why, I am not sure. Now, see, this is the thing that burns my biscuits. I, for one, think that Kyle has been a crappy friend to Sutton. She was even renting her home out to Sutton and still treating her like crap. Let's not forget how she treated her in front of Diana Jenkins, and don't think I forgot. Kyle, you have not been the best friend. Sutton is apologizing to her. She gets in the confessional and says, I really care about Sutton, but it really hurt me when she wasn't taking up for me and she was asking me those questions. Kyle, are you serious? What are you talking about? I'm just so happy she apologized to me. Kyle, what about what you've done to her? It's very one-sided. That's what I don't like about the frenemyship that Sutton and Kyle have, because it's always one-sided. Sutton is always going to care more about Kyle than she does her, because Sutton really cares about her. But for me, I don't feel like Kyle feels the exact same way. So after they come from the church, they're going to lunch. Crystal FaceTimed them to let them know how she's doing. They have her on some prescription meds, trying to bring down her blood pressure. The ladies go to old Barcelona to go to lunch, right? As I was watching this scene, I was just thinking, why is Dorit dressed like she's taking the kids to Disneyland for spring break? Child, all she was missing was the fanny pack. I said, Dorit, what you got on? What do you have on, honey? It's just a fool. I don't care about you slapping no name brand on no overalls. It still looks like what my mama wore in the 80s to rally us together to make sure she didn't lose one of us when we went into the theme park. And that's just that on that. Moving forward. So they get to the restaurant. They order the drinks. They order the food. Anna Marie gets a FaceTime call from her husband and her kids. They hear Anna Marie calling her husband daddy. So she was calling him daddy, right? Erica said, you call him dad? You call him daddy? She said, yeah, in front of the kids, I do. Erica said, I've never called Tom dad. I don't know why. He was old enough to be your daddy. So they make a toast. They make a toast to Crystal. So then Kyle, because you know she cannot have peace, she brings up how ironic it was that they went from last night to today. So Garcelle is like, yeah. I'm like, Garcelle, pipe down, okay? It was nothing really dramatic going on. Okay, yes, she had something to happen. But let's not try to correlate the two. Anna Marie said, I really take my profession seriously. But what did you really do, though? Not to be mean, but what did you really do? Kyle just has to make this moment about some mess. She said the doctor thing was hurtful when Crystal said that to her. Erica said, well, it was just a twist of fate. So Crystal won't ever say that to you again. Say what exactly? All Crystal said is she lied about being a doctor. She never said that what she does isn't important or impactful. She never said that. So please cut it out. And how did this become about Anna Marie? Crystal is the one held up in the hospital in a bed. How did this become about her? So Anna Marie is like, you know what? What's important is that she's going to be okay. That's it. What's important right now is Crystal. And I did appreciate that. Just dead this conversation because it's not looking right. What y'all are talking about right now, we don't need it. So Garcelle turns to Dorit and she brings up the spat that her and Dorit had at Taco Tuesday. So then Dorit is telling Garcelle that she wants to learn, but her father is an Israeli and they lived in a town where people were saying anti-Semitic things. And she felt like she wasn't fairly characterized by Garcelle. Let me tell y'all what I'm not about to do. I am not about to come to anyone's defense because Garcelle will say all these things and then just let things slide. Because even after this conversation, Dorit still took to her Instagram and made fun about being in her bubble. Okay. So for that, I have nothing to say to Dorit, but just know that I do have my thoughts. So they talked, they hugged it out, and I'm going to reserve my commentary on these two. Moving forward. Sutton tells them, listen, my friend Trevor is coming for dinner, so we need to go. Okay, because we have to be on time. They want to stop and shop, but Sutton is like, no, we're on a schedule. So Dorit and Kyle, they escape to this little store that has like fans, they're antique, and Sutton gives them 3 minutes. It was giving supermarket sweep. It was giving supermarket sweep. So the other ladies went into the jewelry store. Garcelle didn't have the money on her card, so Erica stepped in to pay for it. And I must say, Erica without Rena is so refreshing. Just so refreshing. Everything about it is just so great. She seems so much lighter. She would have never stepped in and done anything for Garcelle had Rena been present. Because first of all, Erica, Kyle, Dorit, and Rena would have all been somewhere together. So they wouldn't have even been by Garcelle. She would have been somewhere with Sutton because that's normally how it goes. And Crystal would have been in the middle, probably down to the hospital. Over at the other store, Sutton is timing them. And I thought that was so funny because Kyle is like, I can do a lot in 3 minutes. I can get so much done in 3 minutes. I got my card number memorized and I know everything that I can get in 3 minutes. It was just so childlike to me, but so cute at the same time. And I just thought it was extremely funny. Dorit is like, yeah, I know how to shop in 3 minutes and I know how to do this and I know how to do that. It was just giving Laverne and Shirley, honey. I just loved everything about it. So they get back to the casa. Crystal is in the bed. She's telling them that, her family has a history of hypertension. And that was really scary. All the girls were very supportive. Even Anna Marie gave Crystal her shoulder to cry on. And I just was like, ooh, okay, we making some progress. That's scary though, y'all. Now I'm going to tell y'all, I've suffered a TIA. And if you don't know what that is, please Google it. I've suffered a TIA before. And it was the scariest moment of my life. When I tell you that was scary as hell. Now, I hope that Crystal prioritizes her health, and I am so happy she is okay, because that has to be scary. And not only are you going through that, you're all the way in Spain, away from your kids and away from your husband. Baby, I would have been on the first thing smoking back to the States. Do you hear me? So the ladies are making paella tonight. They're having a paella making class. I love paella. The first time I had it, I had some great paella in Little Havana in Miami. And every time I go to Miami, I have to go there to get this paella. It was mouth watering, y'all. It was so dang gone good. Do you hear me? It was good. But anywho, this isn't about me. It's about them. So they're making some paella tonight. Everybody's getting ready. They're getting their glam. Kyle is FaceTiming Mauricio so he can annoy her and she can pretend to talk to him. Sutton and Merce are headed downstairs first. Erica is already drunk, getting glam, talking about Crystal died, came back, we had lunch. Ma'am, what? Ma'am, what are you saying? Not Crystal died and came back. I'm not finna play with you, child. Not death becomes her. Trevor and his entourage arrive. Now that's the man who's coming for Sutton. They've been friends since they danced together, and so he's coming with some of his friends. The courtyard is set up beautifully. Everything looks nice. Erica done tiptoed on out. Honey, I'm surprised she can stand up straight. Dorit came out with Erica as well. And baby, they knew Erica Jane was tipsy because she said to Trevor, Sutton has a beautiful soul. Oh, baby, she loose as a goose. Loose as a goose, don't get me started. Full of that liquor when I step up in the party. Erica is nice. Do you hear me? Kyle actually looked very nice at this dinner. When she came down in that little black dress, I said, okay, Kyle, you look refreshed. She looked very pretty. So all the ladies are down there. Storm comes out. You know, he's been cooking the food and whatnot. He comes out to gather the girls together. Garcelle then realizes that Storm's dad is also a chef. Now she wants the father and the son. Somebody please get Garcelle a beverage, honey, because she is so parched. She is a thirst bucket. Please get Garcelle a man and a refreshing beverage. Baby, she love her some Daddy Storm. Do you hear me? Now, it's giving dehydrated at this point. It was cute, but I was like, ooh, child. She don't know if he married or what. Now, the dad is more handsome than the son, but Garcelle will take either one of them at this point. It was giving me secondhand embarrassment at a time because the man wasn't even paying her no attention. And she just kept on throwing out these things. And I'm like, Garcelle, please calm down. So her and Crystal are over there talking about her and Dorit having a good conversation. Crystal said that she saw a kind side to Anna Marie, and it really made her want to move forward with their friendship. Oh, okay. Moving forward. They were worried about the chef, honey, and the chef wasn't worried about them. He was worried about that paella. So they sit down for dinner. Dorit wants to know all about Sutton's back in the day history. According to Trevor, Sutton has not changed. She is the exact same, but just older. He said Sutton lived in Brooklyn, right? Here go Erica. Brooklyn, what a dump. All right, now, Erica, not too much on Brooklyn. I actually fell in love with Brooklyn when I visited. I loved the character. I loved the people. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? I loved Brooklyn. Now, that might just be me. And to everybody else, it might be a dump. But to me, I was offended. Don't be talking about Brooklyn like that. Don't be talking about Brooklyn like that. Sutton was like, I was poor in New York. I worked and I loved it. I was responsible for me. I was not always somebody's rich ex-wife. It seems like Sutton has lived, honey. It seems like she had a good old time. I love hearing about people's back in the day stories. I want to hear about what you did, how you lived. How did you get to this point? I just loved it. So Garcelle asked about Christian, which is her ex-husband. I think it's Christian or Kristen. I think it's Christian. And she said she was dating him at the time. So Kyle goes, oh no, she met Christian when she was 14. Erica said, 14? My goodness. I was wondering, how old is Sutton's ex-husband? Because not 14. And baby, Sutton flew right on past that. I said, Sutton, I see you. Erica interjected, talking about Merce was in a Ziploc bag. Baby, this Ziploc bag is offending everybody. Do you hear me? Everybody that comes in contact with Sutton and knows that he's in this bag, it is offensive. Sutton is explaining in the confessional, that's what they come in. They come in big bags. And I just transferred it to this Ziploc bag. Please, pipe down. So they all continue talking. Dorit asked a black woman at the table where she's from. And she was like, I'm from Philly. I would like to say that's the land where Benny Siegel is king. So Dorit has absolutely no idea. She's like, Benny Siegel? Who's that? So the lady said, does any of you know who Benny Siegel is? Now I was thinking Garcelle was going to pipe up. Erica said, hell yeah, I know who he is. Dorit said, okay, I got to look him up. Don't let me forget. Let me tell y'all something. The thought of Dorit bumping Beanie Siegel had me in tears. Do you hear me? I was cackling in here, especially when she said, okay, so we have to look him up. Baby, that was the most Dorit-like thing I had heard all season. Charlotte's a fool. So there's also a lady at the table named Benedetta. I think that's her name. And she's the #1 architect in Barcelona. There were some very accomplished people at this table. There was also a lady named Amina, and she was giving her cultural background, right? And Erica jumped right in, baby, with the questions. She was on top of it. And they were not expecting Erica to know as much as she did. They could not believe that she knew certain things. And she said, she didn't go to college, but she learned by socializing and being with Tom, and she would ask a lot of questions. She's very inquisitive. Listen, the way Erica was working that table, it was giving Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Jeopardy lightning round. And Erica is going to win the game. She was getting all them questions right. Do you hear me? The way that Garcelle was looking at her, and then she says, who are you? Child, we don't know. And then Erica just blinked at her. I said, baby, Erica is so drunk, honey. This was so hilarious to me. So then Sutton pulled out Merce. And Erica yells, Merce is in the purse. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm sorry, y'all. But the way I cackled, because why are you being Dr. Seuss right now, Erica? Why? Why are you saying Merce is in the purse? It's giving Homeless Not Toothless with Kathy. Oh, child, that was so funny to me. I had tears rolling down my eyes, honey. They couldn't help but laugh. So then Sutton tells them, that Merce has been with her for 10 years and she can't wait to spread his ashes. We need Trevor and his friends and drunk Erica Jane at all the dinner parties because this was very pleasant. Nobody had an argument. They didn't show out in front of company. Nobody lost their minds. Nobody was looking for the spotlight. It was just a pleasant housewives dinner. I do not think I've seen one of those executed in quite some time. It was just good. So after dinner, everybody gets up, goes to their room. Erica and Garcelle were giggling, skinning and grinning. They were asking, how did Erica know all of these things? She said, I was fortunate enough to be around smart people, so I asked questions and I figured it out. I like seeing them all get along and, have a laugh and have a good time. Even Kyle was in the room. They really did need to get rid of Renna. Sorry, she had to go. In the next scene, it's the next morning, and Erica is a bit hungover, baby. That head is head aching. Crystal is taking her blood pressure. It's still high, but it's gone down just a little bit, and I know that's scary as hell. Now, I know she's going to be afraid getting on that plane with that high blood pressure, but it's going to be okay. Sutton goes to Kyle's room to deliver some lays, right? Because they're going to spread these ashes. Dorit is FaceTiming the kids. She says that PK is in London, and she wanted to at least have one parent at home. PK might as well move to London. He always there anyway. He might as well move there. Sutton is getting overwhelmed and emotional just thinking about her spreading those ashes, right? So Kyle comes in and she's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Now, this is what I did appreciate. What I appreciated about Kyle in this moment is she listened. She was not being Kyle and doing her Kyle thing. She was actually being there for Sutton. Now, this was a genuine scene. That church scene, not so much. But this scene, Kyle allowed her to be vulnerable. She listened to her. She was very attentive. And I could tell that she actually got it. Sutton says she feels like this is the last piece of anyone that she has. So she's lost her dad, her marriage, and now Merce. She said, I'm alone. Poor Sutton. I cannot imagine how she feels. I'm very proud of you, Kyle, in this moment. I really am. You really did show compassion to Sutton, and she needed it in that moment. Listen, Sutton has carried this season. She's really come into her own. When she first stepped on the scene, I was like, I don't know if Sutton gonna make it. But my Virgo sister has proven otherwise. And that was the end of the episode. Listen, this episode was so good to me. It was so lighthearted. They did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. They all came together. Everybody got along. It was really lighthearted. I just really enjoyed it. It was really good. Not to mention that Erica had me hollering at that dinner table. But baby, when they showed that preview for next week and Sutton poured out those ashes and the ashes flew back, I screamed when Crystal said, Garcelle, the ashes are on your back. When I tell y'all I hollered so loud because Garcelle was the only one that wasn't really running, but those ashes had attached themselves to her. And baby, I thought that was hilarious. I said, oh, this is just too much. Sutton, you should kneel down and dump them out, honey. You know the wind is going to push them back. Anywho, y'all comment down below and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.